Oh. Ohio, Sakai, good morning.
No.
We had to do it to him. This is episode 113 of Anime on Draft. The whole crew's here together, and good morning, world. Hello.
Hello world in the morning.
Wow.
I'm your host, Drew, today. Thanks for joining us live here on twitch.tv. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you smash that follow button.
Oh, smash it.
We have kind of
Smash
a
it,
weird
dude.
episode today, but before we do that, I do want to introduce my lovely co-host. We have Rolando, and I'm not going to try to do the pointing thing that we did last time. I'm just going to say we got Rolando. He's there. Mark's here too, and we always, as always, we got Alec as well. So all four of us here today together. Like I said, episode 113. So. Yeah, kind of a weird episode today. Got some different Goze style beers. Are they both Gozes? Yeah, it looks like it. And we're gonna talk about some anime, Fire Force, Danmachi, and like a little bit on Dr. Stone, but there's not too much to cover in those that we haven't already
be
talked
right back.
about. And there goes Mark. Oh no.
There's a lot to cover. Oh, fuck.
Oh, he didn't want to talk about him. See you later. So we have a couple interesting topics. One is kind of funny, and one is a little bit more serious. So we'll get into some of that discussion as we kind of move through it. So emergency avoided. Looks like Mark's back and good to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, dog outside going crazy because they're in a parked car. Now my dog's freaking out. So yeah, we'll see.
What's new?
We'll monitor the situation. Hopefully it's all right. But with that said, let's start talking about those beers. Alec and I are sober boys for
Well,
today, right? Or
no.
Alex got a beer too.
I figured
Oh,
I'd
no.
grab a Firestone beer, the Parababala.
The Parababala.
Yeah.
So
I
you
was
got a
gonna
13% beer there.
I'm just gonna casually drink this beer, you know.
There it is.
Yeah, right there.
That's one of the ones I had when I was on the tour. So
You know, if
excellent
you-
choice. I'm repping the hat too. I'm just like an employee now.
If you told Alec, if you had told me that you had forgotten or that you had drank the beer you were supposed to have today yesterday, I would have pulled the parabola that's in my fridge out.
That's okay. We got a eclectic groups of beers.
Yeah.
So Alec has the parabola, and then you two, somebody has, and this is from Europe, right, Rolando? The brewery True
No.
Gozes, or is that the one Mark
That's
has?
from Orange County.
That's what I have. The brewery Turu. Gozes are red, and
Yeah.
this is brewed with Syrah grapes. So that's the
nice.
can art there.
Yeah. Cool.
This one is the
Shiraz?
Europe one.
Nice. Dude.
Yeah,
This.
from Europe.
This one is brewed by Mothership Beer, and the cool thing about this one is, so this is an all-female brewery, and they're brewing. This one was brewed at Missing Link Brewery in West Sussex, and the goal behind this one is it's like kind of like a charity brew. So like it's an all-female brewery, and they're brewing it for charity, and then like it's in support for women refugees.
Cool.
Oh, cool. That was the one that looked the most interesting out of like that picture that you sent us. I was
Yeah.
really curious as to what that was. And I looked it up. It looks pretty good.
The can art kind of reminds you of, like, I know it's not exactly the same, but kind of like that McKellar style art. Interesting like that, but very cool. And I have nothing this week. I was going to break out my velvet merkin from Firestone, but I have call all week, so I decided it'd probably be a better idea not to do that. But before you get into your initial tastings, I know we talked about, are we gonna do the sober September?
Sober September.
Yeah.
Is that what
I
we're still
am
down
game.
for that?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right. So starting next week and for the next 4 weeks after that, we will not be drinking beer, but we will have a unique beer topic every week. So
And a
look forward to
different-
that.
Non-beer beverage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Tea, coffee, probably not coffee at 6
A
p.m.
little
at night.
late for coffee.
Tea,
yeah.
coffee, water.
Water.
Favorite
Juice.
Sparkle. Maybe we should all get like different flavors of LaCroix and compare them.
We'll have a couple of claws.
Oh, this
on
one has
here,
a
too.
hint
White
of
claws.
Ample Boost.
White Claw.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
So you two pop those open. Alex has poured out. So while you're kind of pouring yours out, there it is.
Ooh, look at that. Look at
Looks-
this thing.
That's a pretty color there.
This is beautiful.
We got
Gozes are
drastically.
red, dude.
Alec, hold yours up. We got drastically different colors.
Yeah,
You
we
got a
do.
full-on rainbow of beard here.
Significantly.
Yeah.
Wow, yours is green. That's pretty
Wow,
crazy.
dude.
Oh.
See, you can just see a reflection of everyone. Unseeable.
Beautiful. I'll let whoever wants to go first go first.
Well, I guess I'll go first because this is just
Here,
that
I'll
first
give you
taste
some
was
time
delicious,
to think,
man.
Mark. Because
Oh, bye, Rolando.
we just lost Rolando.
Oh no!
Oh, damn it.
Mark,
Oh,
I'll go
no,
first.
The battery.
Okay.
We've
Say
all
battery.
had this and we've all talked about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's still good. There we go.
It's still good.
There we go. Mine's
Very
short and
good.
Very,
Very good.
Very good.
Very good, huh?
I can
Marky.
fix the situation by just turning the camera back on.
So what do you think, Mark?
That'll work.
Interesting.
Is it good?
This is very, very good. This is delicious. This is basically just like a rosé, but brewed in a Goza style, so it's got a little bit more of the that fermentation in it.
You've got fermentation.
And this is delicious, man. So I think the previous Goza that we had that's
Alright.
similar to this is the Anderson Valley, the Rosa Goza, and I think this is a little bit better than that because the other one was very sweet. This one is more of like a mellowed out tartness. It's more of like a I'm getting a lot of like the grape flavor, which is delicious. It just tastes like wine,
Wine
like
beer?
carbonated wine beer, man. It's good. It's really good.
It looks like a darker version of that one I was talking about last week, the Rosalie, where it's like a rosé.
Yeah. We have that picture on the Instagram, and I would imagine this probably tastes very similar to that.
Yours looks a little darker in color, though, for sure.
Yours looks like a wine, or like a
Yeah,
Yeah, the
sparkling wine.
cranberry juice color.
cranberry juice. I'm getting like some of like that like kind of winey flavor, like from the grapes, definitely. Just off the back end, it's really subtle, but it's like a nice little soury sweetness. It's very
Like
good.
those tannins.
Mhm.
Ooh. It's like the only fancy wine word I know is tannin.
the
That's
word
not
that,
specific to
everybody
wine.
People use it to refer to in wine though. Fancy wine.
Well,
Maybe.
tannins are just like the compounds that create the bitter, like
It's like
earthy.
sulfates, right? Or
Yeah,
something like sulfates created.
It's like that bitter, earthy flavor you get in like wines and whiskeys
Yeah.
from the barrel aging process.
It's a naturally occurring
more you know.
polyphenol found in plant seeds, bark, wood, leaves, and fruit skins. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Very good.
Yeah. It's what
Um,
gives it the dry taste. They
Yeah,
said.
Ooh, okay. We're learning. Learning with Alan.
learning.
We gotta bring that segment back too.
Yeah.
We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back next month.
Yeah, sober September.
Sober September.
Yeah, it'll be the month of Alex learning.
God.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'll do
Um,
it. I'm up for it. I'll do at least one.
So this beer, interesting. It doesn't really smell like anything, but I mean, gozes don't really have a particular smell, other than kind of like what Drew describes as the barnyard smell. It's not really like
Barnyard
anything.
Band-Aid flavors.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna
But-
do saison, Mark.
I thought about it. I was gonna pick up the McKellar. It was a dry hopped saison. I was kind of torn between the two, but I went with this one because one said he had a Goza.
Yeah.
Geese.
This beer doesn't really taste like anything.
Anything. Like no
nothing at all.
watermelon.
Well, no, like it's a goze, but it doesn't really taste like one. And then it doesn't really have that much of a watermelon flavor to it. And
Interesting.
what is there that's watermelon is kind of like, it's not as bad as the watermelon sculpin or whatever it was. Is it the watermelon Dorado or sculpin or whatever?
Dorado.
It's
The
the Dorado,
Dorado,
yeah. Not that. It's like just a hint of that Jolly Rancher flavor.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
So
sounds interesting.
I'm not a fan of watermelon to begin with, and then add like the artificial Jolly Rancher flavor to it, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in this beer. It doesn't really.
There we go.
It's not like as like I wouldn't describe it as a good goza.
Oof.
Oof. You went all the way to Europe just for that beer.
I
and it's
didn't
not
go
that
all the way to
good.
Europe
Imagine
just for that
that.
I got this beer. I
And he
got
bought
this beer.
32 of them.
No, I bought this beer and I bought it because it was in support of female brewers and refugees. And so I was like, oh, this is a cool idea, cool concept. But the guy at the store gave me the caveat of, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that beer. And then now I know why, because it doesn't really exhibit
Isn't really good.
doesn't really exhibit the qualities of a goza or have that much watermelon flavor in it. It's just
Oof. Big oof.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame. Like, it's definitely for a good cause, and a lot of the proceeds, like, they've made a pretty good amount of money with.
But it's a
off of it.
relatively new brewery, right?
I
Mothership.
believe so because they're brewing out of another brewery.
Because what I'm thinking, or based off of the information, it's all women refugees. I'm assuming they were refugees, came here, started a brewery after some time. So they're probably pretty new to it. So maybe this
Yeah.
is part of their learning curve.
That's what I'm gonna guess.
I don't. Are the women who started the brewery, are they refugees themselves? It just says
don't
it's
know.
an all-female brewery.
It's an all-female brewery, but
yeah.
this beer in particular was brewed in charity.
Might just
for
be like a
female
cause they like to
refugees.
support.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, all the proceeds are going to women for women refugees.
Which there
so
are
the
a lot of
brewery on
refugees in
Untapped
Europe.
only has 4 beers. They have a brute pale ale, an IPA, and a milk stout.
Hmm.
So,
They got
plus
one of
the,
each.
the goes.
Sort of.
Yeah.
The popular style.
Yeah, it's a disappointing beer in my opinion. I mean, it's sad to say, but I mean,
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
And sounds like that one's not a winner, unfortunately. Oh well.
Yeah, which is definitely a shame too, because the recent, beer that we had over here, that all of the support, like solo support and proceeds, went to the forest fires or the fires up in California, and that was just like your standard IPA, but it was pretty good. I mean, it was like
good.
very very simple, and that was the reason, is that way anybody could make it, and other breweries could also make it, and all the proceeds from the sales would go towards the fires, like fire relief.
yeah.
That was the
have
cool
a very-
thing. It's like they
yeah.
all kind of interpreted their own version of it, and so anywhere you went that had it, it was different, which was cool. That was I wish they would do more stuff like that. Like maybe get like a bunch of people to come and like collaborate on a recipe, and then they're like, all right, everybody take it.
I do have a few beers that are like that though, that are a collaboration of different brewers coming together and making stuff. But
What do
that's
they
in
call
the
it?
in the basket, a
It's
collaboration.
in the basket, the
Is
beer
it?
basket.
Is
Yeah.
it a collaboration?
It's
That's what they
collabor-
call it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
and there are a
that
lot
was
of
the
breweries that do
do-do.
collaborations. Yeah, they do
Yeah, he said doo doo.
do. But yeah, this one, I like the cause. I like the fact that it's an all-female brewery, because there's not enough female representation in the
Yeah.
craft beer industry. But unfortunately, I do not think that this brew with the watermelon is helping it. If they had chosen something a bit more acidic and citrusy, it might have helped. Because I don't know if because like it's not even that sour.
Interesting.
Not with like as much as I would expect from a goza.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame. Mark, final thoughts on your beer?
This is sorry to say, Rolando, but this is pretty delicious, man. You gotta try this. You definitely
trade?
because I've seen this. You want to trade? Here you go.
Yeah, let me just head over.
Slip it.
Give me 30 minutes. I'll be over there.
Yeah, I got 3 more for you here.
Here, you want some?
I've seen
You want
this.
a little bit?
I've seen like the big bottle, like the 750 milliliter bottle of this, but it's always kind of pricey. It's like at least like $20 for just that bottle. So this is the first time I've seen it in cans. So I figured I was pick it up, and it's pretty good. I mean, I think this is definitely worth trying. I'll probably give this maybe 4.25. Like, this is really delicious, and it's
Nice.
perfect because it's super hot here. It's nice and
You don't
refreshing.
even know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's.
At least
way
you got
hotter.
that. You got that AC though.
I don't though.
Oh, that's
No,
right,
no,
you
no,
don't.
This guy
no,
does.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Alec, not you.
Yeah.
Mark.
Oh yeah,
Mark's just fluctuated.
yeah. I got
Poor guy.
fans.
Oh, nice.
He's got a lot of fans.
Fans
big
and
fan.
windows.
blowing
got
that
fans
hot
in high
air around.
places.
Ooh,
Just circulating that hot air. Yeah.
nice.
Can I get an F in
You
chat
need
for
to
no
get,
AC?
get
in
like
Southern
a
California?
window AC unit. Or like a floor AC that could go to the window.
Yeah.
Or he just
I-
needs to get an ice, a bucket of ice and put
And
his
a fan.
attach his fan to it.
That's what I'm talking about.
AC.
Yeah, I had an AC that is no longer here.
It's gone.
Okay, yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
You catch
I
my drift.
understand.
I
Thank
get
you.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We know about the parabola. We're not gonna
No,
hit on that.
We've talked about
But
it plenty.
you're still enjoying over there though. Good. Still good.
Yeah, it's very good. Still
Very good.
wonderful. Still
Very good.
13%.
All right. So let's move into some of our anime topics.
I didn't
like
get a
I
rating.
We
Oh.
gotta get this guy's rating.
Well, if you want to do a rating, I was almost gonna skip over it because I was like I'm scared to hear the number. But if you really want to give the number, you
I have
go
to give
for
the
it.
number. I mean,
gotta
it's
give the
unfortunate, but it's a 2.75.
Oh!
That was higher than I
Oh,
thought
wow.
you were gonna give it from
No,
how
no,
you
I was,
described
no,
it,
it's
so-
not. It's not at the levels of fucking Mississippi, mud.
Mississippi
Oh
mud.
my god. It has such a cool bottle, though. Like,
This
I
at
feel
least
like that should have
exhibits.
been the warning though.
This at least exhibits, some traits of being in the Goza style, but it's just the combination wasn't. The execution wasn't.
Mark, what'd you give yours?
4.25.
4.25. Got it.
Mark, you're completely right. The bottle is the warning. It's like, wow, this bottle's
Yeah.
so cool. And it's not like a glass bottle, it's like a ceramic bottle. Wow, that's
And it's
amazing.
$2.
And
Wow.
it's $2? Holy
Jug.
shit. And it's huge? Oh, it's shit. No wonder.
But at the
Oh,
time, that brought
no.
our scores up. That we were like, you know what? For the bottle alone, like it's pretty genius.
I think it brought
marketing
it up
there.
at least like
It's
1 or
great.
2 points.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 2, and
the bottle.
that was just the bottle.
Yeah.
The actual beer was
Just
The bottle
fucking
is
ass.
so good. The bottle's so cool.
I've seen it in cans recently, and I'm like,
Really?
oh,
Oh,
man,
God.
you're taking a big step back.
No, if you look it up
Ah.
online, people love that beer. There are a lot of people who love it. I don't know how, but they do.
So
But,
bad.
I mean, a lot of
So
people
bad.
love a lot
You
of
can make a
beers.
black and tan yourself, and it'll be better.
Yeah,
Yes.
just make it.
Just make it. Yeah.
Ugh,
Anyways.
disgusting.
Anyways.
Yeah, that makes me
Shit.
makes me upset. Anyway, let's move into our anime topics. As I keep mentioning, not really too much to talk about this week. We had Fire Force. Really just setting up the next arc with 8 and 5 kind of working together to infiltrate the first unit. The first unit has an interesting dynamic. The members are all kind of weird and funky, but that's pretty consistent with the show, I would say. And we get a sparring between the rookies and some of the members of the first squad. So, other than that, not too much going on there. Anything to add? For that, I mean, I'm looking forward to the coming arc because I definitely want to know. Like, Unit 1 seems fishy, right? And I want to know kind of what's going on with them.
Super fishy.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're now getting into like a different company that has ties to just direct ties to the church. And so they're being treated and they're treating other people more or less of like a military style and more of like a, I don't know.
Pious.
It's weird to me to say it's like kind of like a cult because I mean that's like the church that everybody is a part of. But they're like that extreme version of that.
Yeah.
It's like a militarized church, which is kind of scary when you think about it.
Well,
The
that's not-
Crusades.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Historically, that's not that uncommon.
Historically, it's also not very positive for history, you know.
It's not.
You're right. but like yeah, so like I think also like the whole thing with the first company is that you get more like introduced to all these like weird quirky characters, and that's what the series does so well, as we've seen from
They have very
people who have been
distinct
introduced
characters.
already.
Yep.
That's,
We have
and
ass guy.
I've talked.
The guy who says your crap is crap.
Your ass is an
your
ass.
is an
Your
ass.
ass is an ass.
It's like, what is going
Nice.
on? Who is this?
I think he's just very
Yeah.
bad at rapping.
Mm.
He's got the
That's my take,
headphones, so you know.
Rap god.
He's a rap god, dude. It's easy to
Yeah.
rhyme when the words are the same.
Him and Chica need to get together, to write a rap. Other than that, anything to add for this show? Very basic.
I love the drawing, the art style. I was watching it this time and I was like, wow, this is great.
Wait, you weren't watching the show previously? You were just
No,
letting
no.
it play in the background?
Yeah, exactly.
He's
Also,
like, I'm gonna tune in on episode 7. Go.
also the
This
God
is really
fog.
cool.
The God fog. There was lots of God fog.
Oh, in the shower.
Oh, the shower, yeah. You know, sometimes you can't see
Can't
it
win them
all.
all.
You know,
No.
man. Anyway, moving on. Unless anyone has anything else, sounded like we're pretty good there. Let's talk about Hestia Danmachi season 2. Again, kind of setting up the next arc. We were introduced to the Haruhime character, and now we kind of have a little bit more in terms of what's her name? Ishtar.
Ishtar,
Is that
yeah.
her? Ishtar. Yeah, her family's like nuts and like super influential and like basically owns the guild, owns like all of the pleasure district, has like really strong fighters, and is now all of that is going to be pitted against Belle. Little Argonaut Kun.
It's okay.
Yeah,
you
he's
can
kind
blow
of-
up buildings. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yell real loud at like this
Yeah.
building. Get it out of here. I'm gonna isekai this building.
Oh, God.
He's gonna lose his
Um,
legs.
He's trying not to get screwed, dude. Literally.
Yeah, literally.
We
and
saw what happened to
figuratively.
Hermes. Like, what's gonna happen to him if like Hermes can't even handle it? You know,
Dude.
it's like you become brain dead afterwards. You're like drooling, just like milling around.
No, he literally has his body crushed.
Yeah, by the commander.
Oh,
Yeah.
Freen.
Titan.
That's
Yeah,
terrifying.
the Titan.
Titan.
The most beautiful of all of them.
Oh.
Amazon Titan.
Amazon Titan. That's exactly it.
Oh God.
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I'll
And they
pass.
keep talking about it too. It's just like,
It keeps.
please
I
stop.
thought we were gonna be done with it like after the
Yeah.
last episode, but it came back and I was just like, oh no.
Men
Oh,
can't
no.
handle. Like, they can't function after you're done with them. Like, no, I don't
Yeah.
even want to think about that. That is just terrifying.
Yeah, because their pelvis got crushed like in Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
Damn
You remember that?
Amazon.
Yeah, the Amazon.
Yeah, death
Yeah,
by
Death
And then
by
there's
Snoo.
just-
Snoo.
There's
Snoo,
skeletons on the wall with their pelvis just like all fucked up. Death by
And all
snoo.
all the skeletons are smiling.
Yeah, they're like,
That show's great.
That is great.
I don't know. What do you think is gonna happen? I mean, probably take a pretty fair guess at this.
I think we know that the accusations that they have stronger members than their actual level can easily be explained by Haruhime. Which obviously it's Haruhime in the drab, enchanting
Yeah,
people.
making them stronger.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like Hermes kind of mentioned, it's like, oh, she's a prostitute. You're just gonna be able to buy her, and it's like it's not gonna be that easy.
Killing Stone. What does that mean?
I've never heard of that.
Who said that?
He's like,
Well,
he's like super.
Someone walked
what?
in. I gotta go.
Super convenient plot devices kind of going on there, but I mean,
Still.
I don't know.
Yeah.
still.
It shows fine. It's not
Still
it's not
interesting.
anything like special, but it's entertaining.
It's
for what
just
it
kind of
is.
following the same thing it did in the beginning. We have
Yeah.
thing happens to push plot randomly.
Yeah.
Thing ends very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe next week we'll have
We'll have the
resolution.
resolution. In the
we'll have
first
the
5
lore and
minutes.
the end.
It can't,
and,
though.
and he saves her.
Because the opening doesn't show anything more than that.
That's
You
true. They
remember.
were fighting it. They were fighting in the dungeon.
They're fighting in the
yeah.
dungeon. This is gonna last through the end of the season.
And then we'll get to Freya, and then it will be done.
And then
Many
he'll blow up
episodes
another
is
big
this
skeleton.
season?
6 episodes.
Oh,
Six.
nice.
6 episodes.
Total of
It's
6.
done. It's done.
over. That's it.
It's already at like we're at like 6 already.
No, but yeah, this is gonna be the last arc. I bet you this is only 12 episodes.
It's
Probably.
13.
13, yeah.
Wait, no,
13. It's
sorry,
your turn.
no, that's the first season.
24.
90.
It
Oh,
can't be
90?
100.
100.
For
Oh my
At
God.
least 100.
Oh
At
my
least
God.
100 episodes. Wow.
Wow.
Guaranteed, under contract.
If it's 24, then we'll have a second opening that shows the next.
Yeah.
Mal is not loading. There we go. 12. Yeah.
12,
you're right.
yeah.
You're right.
Standard. Pretty standard.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll figure out what happens. We're along for the ride now, and yeah, we'll kind of go from there. I just wanted to kind of bring this up. We kind of beat it to death last week, but Mark came in and it was like, so Dr. Stone, we're making ramen now. I think we are all at the point where we're probably gonna drop this, and I just wanted to kind of confirm with everybody. It's like we're over it.
I didn't even
Yeah.
watch it, so
I haven't,
Yeah.
there's
I
my
haven't seen it.
answer.
Honestly, I kind of want to keep watching just to see how ridiculous it is. But
So
I
you're
think
gonna
this
take
episode
my
was pretty
King's
bad.
Game.
Yeah,
mentality, but on
I got one of those
not
this
as
season
bad.
too.
yeah. I think this episode was pretty. It was just so off the wall and just unnecessary. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about his reasoning behind making ramen was to get more manpower, and he wants to win some girl's heart by making her food.
I mean,
So he makes
what they
ramen.
say is the quickest way to a woman's heart is through her stomach. Oh wait, no, never mind. You gotta flip the gender.
Pretty sure that's not correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the quickest way to a man's heart is through ramen.
The quickest way to
Mini
someone's
ramen.
heart is through their chest, Indiana Jones style.
Kalima.
Kalima.
Oh, everyone's.
Kalima.
Oh no, I was gonna say everyone's least favorite Indiana Jones, but that's actually Crystal Skull.
Yes, that
That's
is
pretty
actually
epic.
Crystal Skull. It was until that monstrosity came out.
But yeah, Mark, maybe keep us updated if anything crazy happens. I'm kind of doing the same with that dating a pervert something show. I don't even know what it's called. It's like Hensky is what it's shortened
Are
to.
you happy dating a pervert or something like that? I think that's what it's called.
I gotta look up the name.
This is
Are you willing to fall in love with a pervert as long as she's a cutie? That's the official name.
just the title alone is like a red flag for just how degenerate that show's got to be.
It's pretty degenerate, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, even though the art is terrible, like the music's everything's terrible, it's like so entertaining to me. It's so stupid.
Does that say something about the show or you?
Both?
Probably both. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair.
absolutely.
Fair.
Absolutely.
It's a popular manga though. I'm not gonna lie. It's always like recently it's been in like the top of like these lists.
I can see why, because it's like unique, right? Everybody's got this weird, like, I want to call it a power, but it's like a fetish.
Yes.
And it's
That's their
different
power,
for sure.
dude.
Yeah.
Their fetish is their power.
And I actually like the characters. Like, I think each character is like unique enough where it's like funny. It's just like the execution is so bad. That's what makes it terrible. But like the actual writing is it's not the best. It's decent for this type of show, in terms of what I like to see. Anyway, but
Who's your favorite?
We'll move on. My favorite.
Yeah, who's your favorite one?
I'll move on. We'll move on, and we'll actually start with.
Which one's your favorite? I'm not gonna answer that one.
Do you want me?
Yeah, that
You want
was,
me to
was
answer
really really smooth. He just kind of glossed over that.
No,
Yeah, my
I don't-
favorite. Anyways.
I don't know. I like probably the blonde one, Rolando.
I fucking knew it.
That the one? Which one is that?
That was
Educate us.
it's the one I sent the image to Drew. I'm like, dude, I think this is your show, and
The one with the pants.
the one, yeah, where she
Pants-
stuffed her panties
has
into the guy's
a-
mouth
guy's
and
mouth.
suffocated him.
She has a
of course.
dom.
I was gonna
She has
say probably
a dom
S&M.
fetish.
The
Yeah.
Dom. Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I can see that.
But I mean, you got dom fetish, you got submission fetish, you got
Dom.
you got
Got a donger
What you
fetish.
said?
Got a donger fetish.
I'm glad you heard that.
you got smell fetish, you got yaoi fetish, you got lolicon, there's 5 right there. We'll see if we get a new one. Oh, syscon is in there, 6. You got
my
it
gosh.
all. You got everything.
Nice.
What else could
What
there
will
be?
they think of next?
Yeah, what's gonna be next week? Who knows?
There's no MILF yet? No?
No,
not yet.
Oh, that would be
Or
good.
Nason? Nothing?
Yeah,
Older sister?
that's got to be
Wow.
next. That's got to be
Wow.
next. It's got to be next.
Severely
They're running out of
lacking.
episodes though. They're running out of episodes though. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into some of these topics. I figured we could do the more lighthearted one first, and then we can move into the one that would probably garner some more discussion. But I came up with a stupid idea, but I thought it was interesting. So the question for this topic is, which anime character would you like to have a beer with? And not something that we think of too often, so I thought it was kind of funny. But I'll start then. I'll get us started off, and then we'll go around the room. I was just thinking about this show recently too, and I thought it was like this would be a good one. So Little Sisters, All You Need. They talked about craft beer,
They did,
and
that's
so
true.
I would like to have a beer with Itsuki Hashima, the main character. So the main protagonist there. I think he would be cool to have a beer with because he knows about good beer. He would talk about it, and we get
And he'd
along.
talk
And
about
then
anime.
and then we play board games. So
And
you know,
he
we
would
got it-
enjoy
we
our
got it all going.
podcast.
There you go.
Let's go.
Hopefully.
I like that.
Absolutely.
That's a good choice.
So
Board games are fun.
yeah, that's my guy, my choice. Who wants to go next? Alec, you want to go next? You got
Sure.
your guy. You
Yeah.
got your guy ready?
I think it would be really enjoyable to hang out with One Punch Man and have a beer with him.
I think, yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking that too.
Saitama. I was
That's a
torn,
good one.
I'm torn honestly between Saitama and Aqua from
Oh my
Konosuba.
god.
I like super different experiences.
fucking drink you under
but
the
I
table,
think
dude.
they would be just really fun. So those
You
are
get to
my
barf
choices.
rainbows with Aqua.
Yeah, you would get to barf rainbows with Aqua, and then with Saitama, you'd probably end up playing video games and he'd crush your shit, but it would be great.
No, he sucks at video games. You'd beat him and you get all pissed.
You'd
You
beat
get all
him and
pissy about
and
it.
he'd crush your stuff. He's like, "Fuck,
That's a
can we
good
go
one.
beat up
I like
monsters?"
those. I like that. Mark, you want to go next?
What is going on?
Dude,
Um,
nobody knows.
I was thinking Spike Spiegel.
Ooh.
in Cowboy Bebop. I
Yeah.
think he's a cool cat. Seen a lot of stuff. He's got some cool experiences. I would love to
Space
chat
stories, dude.
Yeah, all those space stories. That'd be awesome.
Are you sure you
Chat
wouldn't
over
just do
some beers.
mushrooms with him?
Him and Ian, dude.
No, that's
That's
Ian
illegal.
another
only
time.
drinks craft beer.
That's illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, the
Pretty
girls.
good one.
Yeah, the game.
Rolando, who's your choice?
See, this was a little difficult. At first, I was thinking it was going to be Misato from Evangelion. But
That'd be a
then
good one.
I realized no. I would actually want to go after work, whenever they're doing whatever anime production they're doing with the girls from Shirobako.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah,
they
that's
always go
good.
to the
That's good.
izakaya afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that.
I was also thinking, and this just popped in my head when you said that, and because we talked about this recently too. The God, what's the stupid anime? The theme park one. Why can I not remember the name?
Amagi
Amagi
Brilliant.
Brilliant Park. Going and drinking with the mascots.
mascots,
yeah.
Because they always get like ridiculously drunk and they're like hitting on the waitresses and stuff. I bet that would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of a funny short topic, but
I have a
maybe we'll-
follow up on that actually.
have a
Mark,
follow-up, okay.
Mark made me think of something. So, who would you want to go out and get a beer with, thinking you would get the craziest, best stories out of that character? Mine is Guts from Berserk,
From
because
Berserk?
that guy has seen some shit. I think you get some crazy stories. I don't know. It's just something I was thinking of.
I don't know.
Because
That's
Mark,
tough.
you answered yours. You said you would get some good stories out of yours, and that's what's
Yeah.
the thought process here. But I
I'm
don't
trying
know.
to think. You can do like thinking along lines of Evangelion. You can do Shinji like after like he
No,
fucks up the world,
never.
and you're like, so.
So, what are your thoughts? Like, tell me what was going through your mind.
Yeah,
you
what,
know?
Why wouldn't you get in the robot?
Why didn't you just get a robot? Should
Why-
you,
why
like-
didn't
Why'd you
just
Why'd
do
you
that?
make your mom's clone like pilot the robot? Why couldn't you do it?
Uh,
I was thinking the back in time girl from Madoka. I can't remember.
Oh
her name.
shit! Yeah,
I think
her-
that would
her-
be like if you hadn't seen the show, obviously, and then
She's
came in the bar.
underage, dude.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
this is
they're
years
underage.
later.
Well, her
and
mind isn't underage though,
This
because
is
she's
years
lived
later,
through a billion timelines.
and she's of age. Blah blah blah. She can drink. It's legal. Okay, and then she's telling you this. She's like, "Holy fuck, that's your life? What?"
Lin Tullo,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
That's a good
is what I was gonna say.
but he probably only
think-
drinks
He'd be,
Dr
too, he'd
Pepper.
be
though.
too
He needs a
depressing.
beer.
He'd be so depressing though.
He's
Like,
like-
imagine how he was in the second season, just like talking to him. You're just like, oh, you're so sad.
I gotta go to the bathroom, but I'll be right back. And then you just leave.
Leave.
Oh,
What's,
I just stumbled on another one. From Hinamatsuri, Nita.
Oh yeah.
Seems like he'd be
he
a
would
lot
be
of fun
pretty
to
fun.
get a beer with.
Yeah.
You know who we all need though, and I think you'll all agree with this. What's his name from Lin Tolo remind me of this. What's his name from Zombieland?
Kotaro.
Oh,
Kotaro.
Kotaro.
So you're just saying that everyone would be down to get a drink with Mamoru Miyano or whatever?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Fair
That'd be pretty
enough.
cool. I'm fine with that.
He seems like a cool guy.
He seems pretty cool. He has got good characters too.
Yeah.
He's like super animated in real life. Like this
He's
guy
super
is
anime, dude.
He's got no
Super
chill,
anime.
dude.
He's
He's got
got
no
no
chill.
No
chill.
chill.
Coach.
He's straight anime. Anime is real.
Anime IRL, dude.
Anime is real, dude. Alex Jones.
Oh no.
Oh, so your choice is Alex Jones. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
I don't want to get anywhere near Alex Jones. He's trying to fight you.
Let's just go. Let's move on.
All right. So that was kind of a fun, like smaller topic. If we can think of any more goofy ones like that, we may bring them up here in the future. But this was a little bit more serious. It actually had some thought put into it. So I applaud you, Alec, for dropping this one in here. The question is, why is anime treated as childish despite being so popular and diverse? So this was your topic, Alec. I'll let you open up.
I kind of was. I was thinking about it because, at least in America, you go around, you say you watch anime, and people kind of will be like, "Oh, you watch anime?" You get that side eye glare. You know what I mean? And people just think, not at Anime Expo, obviously, but I think it's still growing, and like a lot of people are, starting to accept it, but there's still a real stigma saying that you're
Got a
an anime fan,
negative,
you watch.
negative connotation a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and saying you watch anime. And I feel like it's more so than if you're saying like, oh, I like Futurama. I like, those cartoons that are on what is
Adult
it? Adult Swim.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of really adult anime, and so I was kind of wondering what your guys' thoughts were on why that might be. I don't know what it's like in Asian countries. If you have any insight based off of something you've read, I'd be really interested to hear that too. But that's kind of what I was thinking. I think it's partially because of some of the fans. No offense, but like some people take it to an extreme that I don't think it should be taken to. Here in America, that's all I can speak to. And then
Okay.
But yeah, what do you guys?
So I'll kind of preface this with is my thoughts on how it is now. I think now it's way more widely accepted than it's ever been. It's in the
Absolutely.
West because back when I started watching in like the late 90s, early 2000s, like the only anime that was out there was like Sailor Moon,
Dragon
and
Ball.
Dragon Ball.
DBZ.
Not even DBZs,
Oh,
like
yeah, it was
the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good show though. I enjoyed that show.
And like basically, the only way, like you could get it was like VHS tapes, or someone had like had them ripped onto CDs and that kind of stuff. But there was still like the stigma that video games had, which is way more widely accepted now, more so than anime, which was that it's a childish thing. Like in the West, like cartoons, that's something that's childish, because like that's something you put on for entertainment for kids. That's just the prevailing thought from the previous generations, like the generations of your parents, your grandparents. But now, because a lot of us grew up with these shows, like it's way more widely accepted to be an anime viewer. Like you've got like people like Ninja, who is like a huge influence on the current young generation, like tweeting about goblins or not Demon Slayer, and like there's like football players, basketball players, that are anime fans. You got Elon Musk talking about anime. Like it's way more widely accepted now.
I don't know if we want Elon Musk as our spokesperson.
But like right now it's not as big of a stigma because I mean, it's sad to say, but the generation that put the stigma on it is dying off. And so now we're kind of going into the generation of being the adults and find it more accepting for people to enjoy it, because it's not something that we view as childish or anything.
Right.
I think you brought up a couple important points. One of it being like accessibility, right? You can log on, open up an internet browser, and whether it be legal or illegally, you can find just about any anime that you want. It's super accessible as long as you have an internet connection. So I think that kind of opens up a lot of different channels, allowing people to just see it. Which leads to my second point. A lot of people who talk badly on anime probably have never watched an anime, and so when you get like shows like Steins Gate, which are pretty similar to some of the dramas, I mean obviously some of it's outlandish, time travel and things like that, but are different timelines, but you see a lot of those things in like our normal TV shows or a normal drama, it's very similar concepts to that. So if you turn them on, like I know I turned like a couple of my friends on to Attack on Titan. They're like, I'd never watched anime before other than like Dragon Ball Z. I didn't know that I would like it. I didn't know it was like this. So being able to like put yourself in, I guess, our shoes and say like, hey, watch this. It's good, and don't go into it having any preconceived notions about anime, and you may enjoy it. And so I still give recommendations to those guys, because they're like, I don't know what to watch, but I know you gave me a good recommendation before, so what can I watch? So it's like it's becoming slowly more accepted, more widespread, just because it's a different media, but it's very similar in terms of content to things that we have today, which is good. I mean, it makes it a little bit easier. The other thing I was going to say, and both you and Alec kind of mentioned it, is like any fan base can kill anything. Like I love Undertale, but if you talk to any of those super fans about that game, they just like totally ruin it for everybody. Like I was trying to convince like a couple of my friends, like, hey, play Undertale, it's really good, short game, indie, you'll like it. And like, oh, I hear about all those fans, I don't even want to touch that with like a 10-foot pole. So it's like any
fandom has that.
Yeah. And so I think you're right though, Rolando. It is kind of those types of super fans are not commonplace really anymore. I mean, obviously they're still here, and we accept them because we're all filthy weebs together, but it's not necessarily like that. I actually saw a thread on Reddit the other day, and it was like it was a meme thread, and it had something to do with like old weebs versus veteran weebs, and then they were talking in the chat. They're like, 28-year-old checking in here, and he's like, and they were trying to figure out like, is the majority of the sub like teenagers, are they like older, and there's like some like 30-40-year-olds in there too, so it's it's common for it's spanning the generations, if that's what you want to say.
Yeah.
And it is really easy because what is it? They call it the vocal minority in some of these cases, where the most vocal people are the most extreme opinions. And so you have these kind of super fans that are killing it, like you said with Undertale, and it's like they're a huge vocal group, but when you compare it to the whole
Not
fan
that-
base,
It's not
they're
everybody.
tiny.
Yeah.
But that's all people see when they're trying to get into
And
it.
mo-
It's like I don't want to.
And that's what fuels the ignorance of the other minority, which is like not really minority. Well, it's becoming a minority, but like the people
Yeah.
that are ignorant about it and
Right.
view
trying
look
to.
down on it. Yeah.
Yeah, or the
And
people
most
who
of the-
are trying to get into it, and they're like, I'm gonna just not. It's like, well, sorry, that sucks.
And most of the normal fans to those like vocal minority are like, please stop talking. We're not all like this. Like it's okay, but
I mean,
But most of us don't want to get into what is it, or like a Reddit comment battle with someone who's
Yeah.
just so opinionated. I'm like, I want to watch it, enjoy it, talk about it with my friends, and then go do what I have to do in life because I'm busy. I got stuff to do.
it's
I
not
can't sit on the
it's not
computer.
gonna be the end of the world. Yeah.
I mean, everyone.
It's keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
It's like I guess the most popular like franchises like have a good example of this, like Star Wars, Star Trek, even now like the Marvel universe is starting to get it's rampant fans like rearing
Oh,
its
yeah.
rearing their fangs. So it's not
Comic
just
book fans
yeah.
who know source material will pass
Like
judgment
the
on
back
people
of their
who
hand.
don't know.
because they've read it
Yeah.
1,000 times.
you'll
And
find
that
them
kind
everywhere.
of that kind of relates to this conversation too, right? Remember, it's like kids back in the day reading comic books, like that's nerdy, that's stupid. And now all those kids are grown up and they're spending tons of money on like the old action figures, like what's old is new again, and everybody wants it, like with all those toys. They're rebooting all of the literally all of the movies or all of the comic books. So it's like it's something that we possibly see, in a few years as well.
They are rebooting these movies, but the people helming these reboots are the people that enjoyed the actual source material. So it's like
Yep.
you look at, for example, the Batman adaptations, Val Kilmer movies. There's the Val Kilmer movies. There was the what was before
George
it?
Clooney. Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, and then Christian Bale.
There's
Now
someone
Ben
else,
Affleck.
but yeah, no.
Like as these iterations kept going, there were more and more people saying it, like growing with discontent, and then you get an adaptation that's like completely different in like the Dark Knight series,
Now we're getting Robert
which was
Pattinson.
like way darker, which was closer to the actual comics. And then you've got all of these reboots on
Michael Keaton. That's
Michael Keaton, yes, that's. You've got like all these changes on Spider-Man, but that's really a whole different can of worms to open.
Yeah.
I don't think we
Because,
want to open that up.
Yeah, but like it is like the younger directors that do have experience with the source material are kind of stepping forward and helming these franchises, and like that in itself like really helps when you're familiar with the material, like as opposed to if you I don't know what an example of a current popular thing is with the youngins nowadays, but
Fortnite.
Slime.
yeah, sure, Fortnite, right?
Slime.
Slime?
Has slime ever disappeared?
Like if you were to make a movie on Fortnite, you probably would get flamed like to hell, by all those 14-year-olds. But like
In 20 years.
in 20 years when one of them makes a fucking Fortnite movie, it'll be fucking better, I guess. I don't know. Fortnite's not a great example, but
No, it's just the only thing I could think of right now that
Yeah.
is popular.
that is
with
popular with the youngins.
The youngins.
People half of our age.
Mark, any thoughts?
Yeah. I think the thing with like popularity in like this rising popularity and the fan base, like current fan base, is that anime itself is just such a broad spectrum of shows that you can have, like different topics, different like seriousness. Like you have like these really dramatic shows, you have these really lighthearted shows, you have shows that are literally just about a bunch of fetishes. I mean, like the spectrum of topics and shows in anime is just huge. I mean, there's something for everybody, and I think that people don't realize that are not familiar with, you know, animation itself, or Japanese animation, I should say, because, you know, the ones that the average person, you know, walking down the street that maybe has heard of anime will be like, oh yeah, you're talking about Naruto, you're talking about, you know, Dragon Ball Z. Like those are like, you know, big name shows that are out there that people may have heard of. But if you were to talk to somebody about, oh, you know, I was gonna say, I'm gonna stop myself from mentioning that show, but but if you were to bring up, you know, a show that has like, you know, like a lot of character development, you know, like these four girls are setting out on a trip to Antarctica, and in this process they're learning about themselves, they're learning about friendship, and then be like, oh yeah, that sounds cool, you know, what kind of show is that? Oh, it's an anime, you know. It just doesn't sound like something that could come from animation, because it's like a well thought out plot. Like, you know, to the average person, they may not know better, and, you know, wouldn't really know that it comes, this is a Japanese animation, you know. So I think that lends itself to, I guess recently, like more so, that it lends itself to improving the overall thoughts on the way people view animation. And of course, like you guys mentioned earlier, you have these, you know, big name celebrities who are repping, like they're repping Luffy on their sneakers, or, you know, wearing anime T-shirts, and of course it's like it gets people on Twitter like buzzing about, oh, like, you know, did Ninja mentioned Demon Slayer, you know, what's so good about Demon Slayer? Now just everybody is going to be looking it up, because he has such a he's such a huge fan base.
He's influencer.
Yeah.
Insane.
He's enormous.
But to go on what you were saying, Alec, about like other countries, so it's like we're giving the Western perspective. Like it's like becoming like part of mainstream pop culture in the West, but at least in America. But it's still pretty viewed as like a very like somewhat negative stigma in Japan, because
That's what I was reading.
yeah, like you're labeled as like, oh, you're an otaku, like you're an anime otaku, you're a manga otaku, you're a game otaku, like you're just like labeled as like a fanatic of like whatever. And so the societal view on your interests and hobbies makes it so that a lot of people are will tend to hide their hobbies and like try and fit within the societal norms. But that's something that's like way different from our culture, where like it's so in America it's okay to express yourself and like what you enjoy. There's that freedom
now
of
it
expression.
is, at least.
Yeah.
Now maybe not so much, you know, 10-15 years ago.
I don't know, but
We're making
Kinda,
progress.
Yeah, of course.
It's kind of crazy in Japan, because it's like everyone over there has like the thing like work, be a salaryman, supply, you know, for provide for family, rinse, repeat, and you don't really get much of the other, like, what do you like to do for fun? He's like, oh, I work.
Right. There's not so much of that balance between work and
life
having, you know,
balance.
doing things for pleasure.
And then add on top of that, you know, being an otaku of anything is always seen as negative over there. It's like, then of course you're not going to talk about that kind of stuff. You know, like for me and my coworkers, like, you know, we can talk about beer, or we can talk, probably not about anime, but we can talk about like a lot of different things. Whereas over there, it's like, you know, that super heavy work mentality isn't always the best. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are the beer otaku.
We are. No, we're the beer. Otaku.
Yes.
Beer and anime.
Beer and anime otaku. I thought of another question, but I'll bring it up next week, because
Yeah, save it for next week.
Yeah.
Save it for next week because we need more of these, and these are hard to
They're hard to think of.
Apparently,
Except for Alec, apparently, because he just thought up another one. And he thought of this one.
You got Galaxy Brain over here. Galaxy Brain questions.
Wait,
I'm gonna call you Phil.
I'm gonna post Alan with all the
I'm gonna call him
numbers.
Phil now.
Call me Phil.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Call me Phil.
Oh,
Phil,
no.
big brain.
Big brain Phil
Phil.
over here.
Oh,
Good
man.
shit. Good shit. All right. Let's move into our news, and then we'll close up this episode. A lot of these are yours, Rolando, so I'll kind of
want any
let
of
you
these
jump
to
into
show
the
on the
first
screen?
couple.
I think I have the first couple, and then I'll pass it on to Rolando. How's that sound?
Oh.
Yeah.
Rolando, do you want
so-
any to show, or Mark, do you want any of these to show on stream?
Yeah, why don't you pull up any of the links?
Yeah, definitely the second one.
All right. hang on.
How's that? First one up here that we have for news: Makoto Shinkai's Weathering You brings in over 10 billion yen. That is pretty crazy. It's about $95 million. And this is it's been floating around in like the top 3 spots for the past about a month or so, maybe a month and a half. I'm really excited. I can't wait for this to come over here to the U.S. because it looks like it's a Shinkai movie. It looks beautiful. It looks really amazing.
Have they said anything about a Western release? Theatrical?
It's gonna be next year. It just says early next year. People are thinking hopefully around like March, but we'll see. Sometime in the spring release.
Cool.
Yeah. Next bit of news on here: Spy X Family wins best web manga series in the Sugi ni Kuru Manga Awards. This is a show that, this is a manga that I've been reading, and it's only at like 12 chapters right now, but it's so good. This is a great series. It's a weird one. It's about a spy family. It's like this master spy who adopts this girl who has ESP powers. He doesn't know it, and he also marries a hitman, and they are like kind of trying to hide like each of their own unique abilities, like the spy, esper, hitman. So they're trying to hide it from each other. But it's a really, really good series. It's so cute. It's great.
The art, it
Matt
looks really good.
Man in the chat agrees with you, so I guess it's gonna have to. give it a
Yeah,
read,
man, it's a good one. It's so funny. The other one that won the first place for the web novel is Usuria no Hitorigoto, the pharmacist monologue, and that's also a really good series. I'm reading that as well. So it's about a Chinese pharmacist who practices medicine, but she's kind of stuck in the like the emperor's let me see. Pharmacist from the Pleasure District who finds herself working as a servant in the palace of the emperor. And it's a pretty good read. It's kind of very text heavy, but it's still a very good good manga. The thing I like about it is that the main character is very proactive and just not completely helpless all the time. Like she got a good head on her shoulders, is very smart. So yeah, this is a good manga as well. So pharmacist monologue. So yeah.
Cool. That sounds interesting, both of those.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you have dumbbells as well. A little dumbbell news.
No, I put that in there.
Ooh,
I think
Rolando
Rolando put that
did.
in there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, do it.
current airing anime. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift? The anime opening song has topped the iTunes charts in Japan, and the ending song is at number 3 as well. So that show, the music is really topping the Annie song charts over in Japan.
Very positive, uplifting message, especially for the OP, and catchy too.
Yeah,
Good.
I think
Really
the
good.
ending is really catchy.
I fucked it up.
Yeah.
The ending's good. Yeah.
What's the next piece of news here? That's you, Drew.
Yeah, I got this one. Kind of random, but sometimes we like to report on video game and esports as well. But OG, they are the first Dota 2 team to win the international twice, and they actually won back-to-back years. So last year TI8 and this year TI9, the international. It was in
TI-89.
China, and China was kind of disappointed that they didn't have a winner from their own country, but. Yeah, the Chinese teams haven't been looking very strong lately. PSG LGD was their last hope, and they went down to Liquid. But yeah, OG won 3-1 in a best of 5 against Team Liquid. Out of the $34 million prize pool, they take home just over $14 million each,
Jeez.
or as a team. So
Oh,
split
I was
5
about to say,
ways.
is like,
Eat.
are there
How's
yeah,
that
that-
worked out?
how is
Yeah.
Huh, 6 times 14.
That's a lot of money.
Interesting.
But no, they split it 5 ways. So, but still a nice way to cap out the year of Dota 2. So I watched a lot of the matches. The meta was pretty interesting. But yeah, OG just looked dominant from start to finish, and they killed it. So congrats to them.
The only thing I heard about the
Um,
international was someone misclicking their champion.
Yeah,
They
so there was
misclicked
like
the
a ban pick phase, and I think they accidentally banned who they were trying to pick because they didn't realize like where they were in the order.
They were distracted.
And then they didn't win, and it was very sad. They were like one of the
man.
fan
It was like the
favorites,
elimination
too.
game or something, right? Like the
Yeah, it
last
was an
game of the
elimination
series.
game, and they were like one of the fan favorites, and
That's why they
went
lost,
home after
because
that.
they're not
That's
paying
it feels
attention.
bad, man.
to every
That's
part
a
of the
big
game.
that's a big feels bad, man.
That's a big
Dude.
mistake. I banned my
Yeah.
champion. Fuck.
All
You
right.
see him going, no.
Oh no! Can we
They,
pause?
well, they
Can we
had
pause?
they had in the post game they had comms, and they were like playing it back what they were saying, and they were like, oh crap, like that was like the first couple minutes was like, oh crap, what do we just do? And then they were like, no, this is fine, like I can actually play that. We'll take it, over to the offlane. Or like they were talking about, no, it's good, it's actually good. And then they got beat.
And then they got
They got
stomped.
rolled.
They got stomped.
Damn.
Anyway, last set of news is actually quite a bit. This is Rolando's some Love Live news.
Yeah.
So I'll let you kind of take it away.
Before that, since you mentioned the international, the League of Legends NA finals, Team Liquid they didn't lose. They won the North American finals versus Cloud9. But yes, Love Live news. There's a lot that happened this week. So first set of news. The Shadowverse and Love Live Sunshine collaboration is now ongoing. So if you're playing Shadowverse, you can play a bunch of missions, get some amulets that are related to the Love Live Sunshine girls, and then you can also purchase leader skins. So if you want to play with any of them as your leader, then you can. And then the collaboration song that was made is now available on the Japanese version of School Idol Festival to play. Number 2, there's a lot of news coming out of Muse, the original School Idol project idols. So on their recent live stream this week, they announced quite a bit, but of note, we've got 2 complete collections for Muse. There is the Blu-ray collection, the 9th anniversary Forever box, that has both seasons and the movie for Love Live, School Idol Project. That will be releasing October 25th. And then on December 25th, on Christmas, we have the CD Complete Collection, the Muse Memorial CD box. That's got 12 CDs full of music.
Oof, that's a lot of music.
Well,
That is a lot. Yeah, it is the complete Muse collection.
Is that this? Yeah, here we go.
Yes.
All the list. I don't know what any of this says. Well, some of it, like Love Wing Bell, but yeah, there's a lot.
That
on
is
screen
the
right now.
complete Muse discography. And then, well, it will be
Sorry.
until
Screen.
what was just announced, which was production for a new Muse single has been confirmed. And that will include a new PV animation. So This is the first Muse single since
There we go.
the last one was back in 2016 when they disbanded. Well, went on a break is how they called it. And then I want to say the last actual single that had a preview animation was probably back in 2014 or 2015. So it's been like 4 or 5 years. And this is in commemoration with the 9th anniversary of Love Live. Yeah.
Very cool.
And then in other news, I received my Love Live Sunshine Over the Rainbow movie Blu-ray, the limited edition. But we don't need to go over too much of that. I just have the stuff. There's a lot of stuff that came with it.
There's a lot.
I
of
bet.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. I think that about wraps it up for us for this week. So kind of a different episode, but enjoyable. Had some nice discussion with some of our different topics this week. If you like what you saw and you're watching live, thank you. But also remember to follow us, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can watch us live every week on Sundays. We go live around 6:37 Pacific Standard Time, or is it Pacific Daylight Time right now?
It's daylight.
It's daylight time. So if you're on the West Coast, join us around 7. If you are not listening live, you can always find our podcast. We upload it to SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, anywhere you can find podcasts for the most part, even on Spotify. Just search for Anime on Draft. Mark, our Instagram and Twitter master, social media guy, he's always on there. Make sure you look us up at Anime on Draft on Twitter, and our Instagram is Anime on Draft Podcast. So if you want to see some of the pictures of the beers that we've been drinking, definitely recommend heading over there. And hey, shoot him a message. He may, and he probably will respond. He's very lonely, so make sure you do that.
Oh man, ouch.
Oh, wow. Way to call him out right there.
Or if you just want to talk about Violet Evergarden, he's always there for you.
I don't have anything to drink right now.
I have nothing. I'm out. They're all empty.
So just a reminder, beers we had today, we had the Brewery True Gozes Are Red and Mothership Beer Watermelon Goes, as well as our Firestone Walker Parabola that we've done before. So if you had a chance to grab any of those, maybe skip out on the Mothership one.
It also might be hard to get if
it
you're
might
an
be hard to
American.
get, yeah.
It's from Europe, so you may have
Get
tough
it.
time kind of getting that. But grab that Parabola,
Get it.
grab that Gozes Are Red,
Yeah.
get on it. So with that said, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you later.